Hey guys, okay, so in today's vlog, I want to talk about the concept of separation, which comes from our primal chakras, the three lower chakras, which is the root, the sacral, and the solar plex chakra. Now, I've done a vlog on what illusions are. So what does it mean when spiritualists say that nothing you see is real? Nothing that you see in this world is real. It's all an illusion. And that is so hard to process for our mind who likes physical, like 3D things. It's hard to process that. So I want to dive into that a little bit. So in my last vlog, I explained what illusions mean, what spiritualists mean. And basically, the illusion lies because, for example, I'm just going to recap really quick. My perception of my experience and what has happened to me is going to be very different from, let's say, my friend's perspective on her experience of what has happened to me. Regardless of what I tell her, whatever story I tell her that is mine, that's personal to me and I feel it and it's real for me, no matter what I say, she will always put her own perception on it. So if she's putting her own perception on what I'm saying, and she's going to do that based on her own experiences. So if she's putting her perception on what I'm telling her, then in between, like this in between space here, what's the truth? What is the truth? That's what the illusion is. And people will do that regardless of how much people say, I'm not judging the situation. The reality is, if you're not into, like, you know, meditation, spiritual work, you're not doing a lot of self-healing, shadow work, the reality is you are going to judge the situation, but you're not even going to know you're judging the situation. Your ego works so quickly and it is so sneaky that you're judging the situation. So I'll give you another example. If two people are at the same place and something happened, like let's say you're at a party and a fight broke out. My perception of what happened is going to be very different of whatever my friend's perception. We're at the same party, we're there at the same time, and the fight broke out. We were looking at what's happening, but what I see is going to be very different than what she sees. So in between here, what really happened? Where's the truth? It all becomes an illusion. So that is what it means when spiritualists say that this whole world is an illusion, because it's based on everybody's perceptions and everybody's thoughts. And these thoughts and perceptions come from your ego and are also, okay, so these thoughts and perceptions come from your ego, and it depends on how big your ego is. So if you're coming more from your lower chakras, your ego is going to be a lot bigger if your heart chakra is not open. So that's what perceptions are. That's what creates illusions. Now let's go into this one step further. The other part of separation, Maya, the other part of, and that's why Maya is here. That's why illusions are here. They're here to create separation, not oneness, separation, because we always think, our ego makes us think that we're right, our thoughts are right, and we may be doing this blindly. Like, you may not even know that your ego is so big. You may think that you're not judging a situation, but really it takes a lot of work and energy to truly understand and not judge a situation. And here's how you can do it. So what you can do is, okay, let me give you a backstory first. Okay, so when you're in a situation where there's an illusion, which we normally are, all of us, the illusion is created because you literally can't see So you see, let's say you see the front of a person, right? You can't see the side. If I'm standing, okay, so you're looking at me and you can only see this front side of me. You can't really see my back. You can't see my sides. You cannot buzz into my chakras and see what is really going on. You can't go into my experiences, my childhood experiences, and really understand my perspective and where I came from. Or can you? So the illusion created is because even if you're looking into, let's say, a sphere, if you're looking at it head on, you're just seeing the circle. You're not looking at the tunnel within the sphere. You can't see the sides of the sphere. You can't see the back of the sphere. So therefore, you're just judging it from the front portion of it. How can you start eliminating this illusion and start eliminating this judgment, which will create a more honest view of the person or the item or whatever? And the way I've learned to do it is to go inside the other person. So, okay, forget the person. So go inside of the sphere that I just described. If you go right into the middle of that sphere, if you go right into the middle of it, then you can see everything. Now you have a 360-degree view of all angles of the sphere. Now you can truly come from a place of non-judgment. How do we do that with a person? We do that with love, with expansion. You can go right into the heart chakra of the other person or your own, and you catch the thoughts that you're already forming of the situation, and you release the thoughts. And you can just say, like when I started this journey, I would just say, these thoughts aren't mine. I'm listening to her. I'm listening to the story. And I mean, I wouldn't say it out loud, obviously. I would just say it inside, and I would just be like, these thoughts are judgment, these thoughts are not mine. And I would completely listen to the story, which helped. It helped release judgment. And I didn't realize how much judgment I was carrying. I was carrying a lot of fucking judgment for a very long time. And then when I began to really listen to people, I noticed myself just naturally loving more and caring more. And with this love and care, I became more silent. I didn't need to say anything, because when you interrupt somebody and they're speaking, you're putting your judgment on. Whether you know that or not, you are putting your own judgment on a situation. So I became more silent. And the next thing that happened when I became more silent was, as the person's talking, the vibration of the language, it rings in your ear very, very differently. When that vibration of the language begins to ring, then I started accessing their heart chakra. And how did I do it? I basically would just listen to what they're saying, not speak. And then I automatically felt, it's just a feeling, like I was going into their heart chakra. From there, like from here, I felt like I was going into the heart chakra, and the expansion, like the light that I could see, that's their truth. That's when I realized, oh my God, this is their truth. And it sounds so easy. Try it. It's not easy. It takes years to get there. So that is what illusions are. And this is the process that I just gave you, the tool that I just gave you, is something that you can really embrace and use to release judgment, because we all judge. I thought I didn't judge. I thought I was the most non-judgmental person ever, until I started catching the thoughts of judgment and how quickly they were made, and how my ego was like, it was all based on my experiences. How dare I judge somebody else based on my experiences? But that's what the ego wants to do. That's the illusion. That's the separation. It wants to keep us separated because the ego wants to feel good, pride. I'm always right. I'm right. You're wrong, even though it's their experience. So catch that. At first, start catching, oh, I just made a judgment of her. Catch it, let it go. That wasn't mine, that was my ego's. Let it go. Start catching those thoughts. That is step one. Step two, you need to start listening and And when you're catching and releasing, you move into more love. Like you literally begin to, oh, okay, you genuinely, truly begin to believe this person, which takes you into step 2, is you will become more silent. You don't need to speak. You don't need to interject. You don't need to give your opinion on something. That's step 2. You will feel it. You don't even feel like speaking. You just want to listen. So when you can do the no speaking thing for a while, that's when the vibration of even the sounds of what they're saying, and what the vibration does when people are talking to you, truly, when you're genuinely without judgment listening, you begin to hear the vibrations of the pitch of their voice, what really irks them, what made them really upset. And usually those peaks and those points of what really makes them upset, they like raise, and it's all usually connected to childhood shit. It's all normally connected. So you can hear those vibrations. Once you start empathizing, give empathy to the situation without speaking, but you hear their vibration and you can feel how like it affected them. You start feeling, and the feeling comes because you expand your heart chakra. Once you can feel what they feel and you expand the heart chakra, then that's when you've went from here to ears into their heart. And now you're like in that 3D sphere that I just described to you. Now you can see it from all angles. Now you're in the non-judgment zone. This is when you truly are looking within their body, you can see their shadows, and you truly can empathize. That is what no judgment is. Practice. It's good. Love you guys. Bye.